This tutorial will go over various strategies and techniques to practice to make you better at the game, bring down your racing times, and make you into a more competitive player. Let's begin. The first major skill that will put you above other players is your movement in the game. Metroid Prime speedrunning is very movement heavy, and the randomizer is no exception. Being able to get from point A to point B as fast as possible sounds obvious, but learning the intricacies and small time saves involved in movement distinguishes a good runner from a great runner. Number 2 is routing. Just like any other Metroid game, Metroid Prime was designed to fit into a category called Metroidvania. Where many games are linear and take you on a set path, this type of game is far from linear. The developer's goal in a Metroidvania is to create a world in which the player explores, collects upgrades, and then backtracks to previous areas to explore even further with their newfound abilities. Backtracking is very slow, so being able to route out backtracking will be one of your biggest time saves in a randomizer race. Last but not least is consistency. Metroid Prime is a platformer game, and platformers tend to be very punishing, especially in vertical rooms like Root Cave, where one mistake means wasting a minute climbing the room all over again. Being able to move through a room the same way every time with little to no mistakes will save heaps of time in a race setting. Now that I've covered all the major things, let's look at a randomizer seed in action where I'll talk about how I plan my routing when playing a seed. Alright, let's get right into the randomizer. So obviously you need to know that you have to start whenever you start a new seed, make sure you start a new file as well, obviously. Hopefully you already know that. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to see me do here is a trick called space jump first. It's just one dash. It's not a big deal. And while this trick doesn't look like it does much, it looks like it just does one item. It's actually really important. No, I didn't mess it up here. Oops. I want to mess it up again. Nice. So it's actually really important to get this item because if it is a missile, which it usually is, this opens up a lot of items you can get in Talon Overworld right away without having to backtrack with a missile. Because normally what the game expects you to do with this logic is it expects you to go to Chozo, go to Hive Totem, and get some sort of progression item, usually a missile, and then you have to come back here a lot of the times to get another progression item. And that, yeah, it kind of sucks, and it wastes a lot of time because that's 2 extra elevator cutscenes, and also just the time it takes to backtrack anyway. Like, walk through the areas. So, Space Jump First is really, really important for saving a lot of time in the early game. So, and it also allows you to check Artifact Temple, which is a big deal, because now you know, when you check Artifact Temple, you know what's required and what's not required. You can do some cool dashes off this Chozo lore. I didn't do it very well, but, you know, that's fine. So yeah, getting these hints is really important early because then you know what's required and what's not required. It's also faster just to this is something I don't see a lot of people do, but it's actually faster just to scan these and then check them later in your menu. Because, and my thing is, like, I don't even check them for a long time until I've found a lot of items, or until I start worrying about what's actually required and what's not. So, like, when I get close to go mode, I might worry about it. So, because the thing is, if you open the text on there, it's going to give you some extra text, and it just wastes a little bit of time. It's just small menuing because RTA versus in-game time. We're trying to optimize RTA obviously for a randomizer race. We're gonna check what's under here, and I can't quite see. But anyway, so yeah, just opening it in the menu is just slightly faster than checking it in the Artifact Temple. Ooh, and that is X-ray visor. So, important note about X-ray visor. In the early game is, and you can scan them by the way, and it'll tell you if it's thermal or X-ray if you can't tell. But anyway, the important thing about X-ray visor, whenever you see X-ray visor or grapple beam in the early game, like really, really early game, you need to keep in the back of your mind that Root Cave might be required. And when you get, so it uses the 3 pieces of the puzzle. You need space jump boots, you need grapple beam, and you need X-ray visor. And once you have all those, if it's really early, you know that there's something in Root Cave that you need to go get. And this happens actually really frequently. And this is, I think this seed right here was actually the 4th seed in a row where something like an early game progression item was in Root Cave. So just to put it in perspective, like Root Cave has an item a lot of the time for some reason in this version of the randomizer. I'm not sure if it's weighted a certain way or anything. The other thing is that you saw I got more fall right there. One, Space Jump first made it so I didn't have to backtrack from Choza Ruins to come get more fall. That's really great. And 2, Transport Tunnel B, that room with that had more fall, for some reason also likes to have progression items a lot. So make sure that you check that room a lot. And it also just goes to show how overpowered Space Jump, knowing how to do Space Jump first is. So first bit of tips, minimize backtracking is your overall goal. But your first big goal of what you should learn if you want to get good at Randomizer is you need to learn Space Jump first. So you don't need to be good at dashing, you just need to be good at that dash. And you'll save a lot of time. So yes, learn Space Jump first if you haven't already. I highly recommend that you learn that trick. Alright, so now we're just making our way through the early game. Excuse me. So the first progression item the game usually gives you is that Hive Totem. Ooh, look, Wave Beam. And main power bombs. Main plaza's a little bit loaded right now. So we're going to go check Hive Totem. So there's a few items we can get over there. We can look at a few items, and we can pick up 3. We have the Ruined Gallery item, and we have the Hive Totem item, and the item behind Hive Totem. And we can also look at the Ruined, I think this is Ruined Nursery. And it's just an energy tank. Alright, that's fine. So yeah, don't worry too much about it. Ooh, nice bunny hop. So yeah, that is just a missile. Cool. Yeah, so the other thing you want to check first, whenever you do stuff in this game, whenever you're deciding what area to go to first, check the area with the most items. I know that sounds obvious, but it's just statistically likely. Unless like you feel the seed is trying to point you somewhere, then by all means go there. Oh look, grapple beam. Whenever you aren't, if you're just ever not sure what place to go to, I always recommend going to the place with the most items, because elevators take a long time in this game, and just sitting in one area and collecting all the items is very quick. So I recommend going to the area with the most items, because it's statistically likely that you'll find something there that's good. So yeah, another big tip: go to high item density locations first before you check other item locations. Now it won't always work, of course, because probability isn't 100% true all the time, but that's what's going to happen most often. So we're going to get our main power bombs. One thing to note about power bombs is that the seed, or the logic, will expect you in a few spots to have either Morphball bombs and power bombs. So in the places where power bombs can blow up Morphball walls, you need to know where those are, and you need to know that if you have a power bomb, you are expected to go check those. So just keep that in mind. So like for example, this Morphball wall right here, this could have Morphball bombs in it, because we have power bombs already. Oh, and it's got Varia suit. Alright, and this is how you get out of Ruined Shrine. I recommend picking up this item if you don't have like Space Jump, because the Morphball tunnel at the end of this room is actually blocked until you have that item. So like if I failed that dash, you can dash up there, but if I didn't collect that item, then I would have been blocked out of getting out of this tunnel, and I would have had to trigger the boss. And that's not good. So yeah, that wastes a lot of time because you have to watch that cutscene, and the cutscene repositions you. Alright, so now we're going to check some other spots in Choza Ruins. But keep in mind, we have found Grapple Beam, and we also know where X-Ray Visor is. So once we have Space Jump, Root Cave likely has an item, because we saw those 3 items early. Because you're always going to see Space Jump early, no matter what. Like, that's just an early game item. And whenever you see Grapple Beam and X-Ray Visor, those are not early game items, and they can be pretty much anywhere. But if they're in the early game, you know that there's an early game location that you need to check that is requiring those. Oh yeah, and we can go check. Since we have Varia Suit and Grapple Beam and Power Bombs, we can go check whatever this room's called, Magma Pool. Do be careful with your Grapple Beam here. Obviously, if you fail, you can go into the lava and die. And dying is not very good. So yeah, next on our list is Watery Hall. It's just, it has a lot of items. It has 2 items right now that we can get, and 1 that we can look at under the water. And we can still get if we need it, but that item is kind of annoying to get, so I usually don't get it unless it's something really good. Like, you know, a beam. Otherwise, I just come back for it when I have Spider Ball and need to check Dynamo anyway. But remember that in the tournament settings, Charge Beam is always in Watery Hall, which is a really nice... I'm glad they have that rule, because I hate having randomized Charge Beam. Not randomizing Charge Beam really sucks. Oh yeah, so you saw there was a Power Bomb up there. These Shriek Bats are guaranteed to drop Power Bombs if you are missing one. The Shriek Bats in Watery Hall access, that is. They will always give you a Power Bomb, so anytime you come to this room, if you're missing some Power Bombs, make sure you pick them up. So yeah, we're going to get our Charge Beam. We're going to get this item first, then we're going to come back out and get Charge Beam. Alright, just a missile, but, you know, it's worth checking anyway. Alright, so now we're going to get our Charge Beam, and at this point, I'm pretty sure all we have left to do is just to go to Magmor and go look. I'm pretty sure that's all we can do without more Fall Bombs. Let's get some health here. And we're going to go check the underwater item. Oh, there's one little mushroom cap there still. Those little guys are annoying. Yeah, it is wise to check this item early, but it's also really good to also make sure you save, because if you die on that item and you haven't saved, that's really bad. So make sure you save before checking the underwater item, because there is poison water. But you can ghetto jump up the side of the platform and get up there if you need to. It's possible to do it with no space jump. It's just harder to do it without space jump, and it's very easy to do it with space jump. But keep in mind, if you have Gravity Suit and no space jump, you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't get that item. Because, funnily enough, when you ghetto jump underwater, you get a lot of height, and Gravity Suit actually cuts away that height because you have normal physics. Yeah, I just scan it. So this is missile. Usually it's just a missile and you won't have to worry about it. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. Alright, so now I think at this point I am making my way to Magmor Caverns to look for space jump. Because once we have space jump, we're going to go check out Root Cave. And we're going to go clean up the rest of Talon Overworld that we can clean up right now. Oh, yeah. This, since this is just one elevator to Magmor, it's faster to go to the Magmor elevator in Talon, or sorry, in Choza Ruins rather than the one in Talon, because that's one extra elevator cutscene that you have to watch, and elevator cutscenes are like 20 seconds. And, yeah. And we're going to take a little safety save here, because not low on health, but kind of low on health. We just want to be safe. And when you're in your tournament run, it's definitely better to be safe rather than sorry. Especially depending on who you're playing against. Like if you're playing against an opponent who you know is better than you, it's probably good to take more risks. But in general, play it safe. Play to the best of your ability, and you know, dying is very sad and ticks you off. You're not going to play well after that because you'll just be in a bad mindset. Oh, keeping a positive mindset is also very good. If you make mistakes, take them as learning opportunities instead of negative experiences, because when you make it into a learning opportunity, well, you grow from it and you get better. But if you get down on yourself and you get mad at yourself about the mistake you made, then you're never going to grow from it. So that's just an important lesson in speedrunning in general. And just, you know, a good life lesson, I guess. But yeah, make mistakes. When you make them, reflect on what you did wrong and what you could have done better, and make sure you do that in the future instead of getting mad at yourself, because then you're gonna do it again. And then you're gonna be even more mad because you did it again. So yeah, there are several items in Magmore that you can check with pretty low requirements. So once you have a suit, it's a pretty good idea to come here. But make sure you clean up the rest of Chozo ruins first, because Chozo likes to have items too. Really risky. No, please stop at me. Okay. we got some items here. That's good. And another thing I'm doing now that's even making me better at the game is watching myself. If you record yourself and you watch some of your runs and you identify what mistakes you did and identify what you could have done to do them better, then watching yourself play is actually really good, because it's like music. If you listen to yourself play music, it's going to sound different than when you heard it yourself while you were playing it, because you're always going to sound better to yourself when you're playing music rather than when you listen to yourself afterwards. It's the same way with speedrunning. You're going to think that you played better than you did while you're playing, but when you watch yourself, you're going to identify what you did poorly. And I hate Triclops. Triclops are really rude. Alright, we got an artifact. I think that's 3 artifacts now. That's pretty nice. Oh, and we're gonna check here. Yay, thank you, me. Alright, let's see what we got. Phendrana Shorelines. Elite control access. So we do have to go into mines at some point. And Tower of Light. Alright, that's an easy one to get. Once we have space jump, we can get that item. So, sweet. This is a fairly low requirement seed. We do need super missiles and spider ball to get the Phendrana Shorelines item. Spoilers, sorry. I do know which Phendrana Shorelines item it was. If it says Phendrana Shorelines, remember that there's 2 items in Phendrana. There's the one behind the ice, and there's the one at the top of the tower, which you need super missiles and spider ball for. Unfortunately, this seed, it was that one. So yeah, we did have to look for super missiles and spider ball, but thankfully those are usually pretty early game items, so we didn't have to worry about it too much. Oh yeah, 2 missiles kill these guys. I'm gonna get some drops here because I think we're low on power. It's good. I always hate it when the siege is rude by not giving you power arms. Ooh, space jump. Yay, space jump. Alright. Space jump is a good item. So now that we have this item, we're going to... can I go and check Warrior Shrine, please? Thank you. Good. Good, I almost forgot that item, because that could now technically be more fallouts, now that we have space jump. Oh, you know what? Maybe it thinks you need boost first, but I don't know. Either way, it could be morph ball. Oops, nice dash. It could be morph ball bombs. And we can check it, so why not check it while we're still in Magmor? Wow, oops. Yeah, so then watching myself play, I know I need to practice some of the movement in Monitor Station. That wasn't very many health drops. That was also not health drops. That's kind of mean. And a missile. Okay. So hopefully we get some health, so we're not going to die. I mean, obviously we didn't die because we're here. But yeah, play it safe. Get your health drops. There we go. Thank you. The game was kind. Right after being rude. So now we're going to go back to Talon, right after checking the Fiery Shores item. And we're going to get Root Cave, because we're pretty sure there's something up there. Since the seed was kind enough to tell us that there's probably something up there. Now that did a lot of damage. Keep in mind, Magmors always drop the red energies, so like the 20 health energies. So if you kill them, you can kill them with 4 missiles like that. So keep in mind they'll always give you the red energies. And you don't need to do this puzzle. We're gonna get this energy tank because I really need an energy tank. And going into Magmor with no energy tanks is kind of scary. Yeah, and it's faster to jump through the lava rep than morph and roll around this room. Yeah, so right up here I'm going to show off how to do Root Cave without X-Ray Visor. Obviously we know right where it is and we can go get it. But a lot of the times maybe you haven't found X-Ray Visor yet, or maybe you have to backtrack back into Chozo Ruins for it. Like for example, like what if it was at the top of that half pipe instead of Wave Beam being there? So instead of backtracking for it, X-Ray is actually pretty easy to skip, and I'll also show off how to skip Grapple Beam here. It's much harder than skipping X-Ray Visor because it's kind of a difficult dash. But yeah, so I'll show it off right here. So you want to stand on this rock. You want to kill the zoomer that's really close to you right here, and you also want to kill the gamer right over here, because he can block you. And then you want to dash off that zoomer. That gamer that you killed has a guaranteed power bomb drop, so get your power bomb. And then you're gonna jump on these without looking at them. So that one has rain on it, so you can see it. Otherwise, you can shoot them. Yeah, you can see the rain right there, and you can see that when I shot it, the shots came up. I've memorized where these are because I've played a lot of 100%. So I know where all the platforms are, so don't worry about it too much. And, well, called it. So yeah, more fall bombs. So if you're going to learn any out of bounds, this is the only one I would ever recommend learning, because all the other ones waste a lot of time. And you don't even need to learn this one. This one doesn't save very much time, because Root Cave is kind of in the way, and usually this item isn't good, unless you get Plasma Beam early. But yeah, you can come out of bounds, you can come up there into the top box of the Aether, and you can morph. And there's a hole in that ceiling, and that you can fall through while the room isn't loaded. Or while the room is already loaded, but while the room isn't, while you can't see everything. Alright, so now we're going to come back and get X-Ray Visor, and we're also going to get the Frigate Crash Site item. And it's a little more important now this time, because we have seen Gravity Suit, and we know that the seed might expect us to go get this item, because it's shown us Gravity Suit, because it had shown us Gravity Suit in Triclops Pit. We didn't want to backtrack for it, because, I don't know, Gravity Suit's not really that important. It's not that good. And I know how to skip it everywhere, because I play any percent, so. But yeah, you can do a skip. You can do this without Space Jump, actually, too. And you can, oh, nice. You can dash off that Sap Sack get all the way to this item. But yeah, boost ball. So it's very good. And so you can see the backtracking. I didn't backtrack for gravity suit, and so it wasn't that big a deal because I know how to skip it. So knowing small tricks like that that eliminate backtracking is really, really good, because maybe gravity suit was going to be in Vendrana, and we'd have to come back all the way here with gravity suit to come get it. And that's really slow. So knowing that trick helped me a lot, for example. And whenever you're next to the ship, just take the free save, because it restores all of your missiles, all of your power bombs, all of your energy, and it's just a really convenient save. Because if you ever had to reset or you died or something, this the ship save is really close to 2 major elevators, so yeah, it's really convenient to go save there. Yeah, so we're going back to Chozo because we know that Wave Beam is there, and we're also going to clean up some other stuff. So yeah, we're going to go get our Wave Beam. We're going to look at some items that we have more fall bombs. And yeah. So we're going to look at this item first. Because we have X-ray visor, we can look at it, we can't get it. And it looks like just a missile. Yeah, just a missile. Sweet. And we're going to get our Wave Beam. Heck yeah. Alright, so now we're going to go check. We have an item in Ruin Shrine and 2 items in Tower of Light. We have the artifact that we know is in Tower of Light, and then the room next to Tower of Light, which usually has Artifact of Life Giver that we can go check, and we don't need Gravity Suit for those items. Ooh, nice energy tank. We could use those. We're a little bit low on health. But yeah, if you see energy tanks in the early game, even if they're kind of annoying to get, you should still get them. I mean, you know, within reason, but like, you know, that one wasn't really out of the way that much. And why am I not boosting? Should be using the boost ball. Nice jump. Sometimes the game can eat your jumps. Another trick I recommend learning is learning these dashes, because this room requires, like, I don't even know how many missiles, like 60 or something, some absurd amount of missiles to knock down, and it has a cutscene. So knowing those dashes skips the cutscene, it skips waiting for the room to come down, and it skips having to refill your missiles after you use them all. And just straight up having to come here with missiles, a lot of missiles anyway. So yeah, learn those dashes, they're very, very good. You can do a ghetto jump right here off that rock to skip gravity suit. You can even do that without space jump, but it's a little hard to get up here without space jump. It's possible and not like terrible, but you know, it's probably gonna waste more time than it's worth. Can we get the hole in one? Aw, nope, the branch denied us. No fun. Alright, so at this point, I'm pretty sure what I would do here is go and check. Yep, looks like I'm going there. So I'm going to go check the one item that we still have left in Ruined Gallery, and then we're going to go to the rest of Chozo and start checking more items. At this point, we are looking for beams, we are looking for Spider Ball, and we are looking for just any other progression item. But mostly, we're looking out for beams because we know that that's going to be likely the next progression item, as well as Spider Ball. Yeah, Ruined Gallery. Like, I think I was checking the room name. I didn't remember what it was called. Alright, just a missile, no big deal. Alright, so now we're going to backtrack back out. And, yeah, go check more stuff. So this time we're probably going to go check Zoid, we're going to go check Furnace. We can check Flagra. I usually try to avoid Flagra if I have a lot of items open. Yeah, yeah. If he's in the way and I don't have very many item locations left, I'll usually check Flagra. But I don't usually check Flagra that often. Unless it's like I'm about to leave Chozo and I can check him and stuff. But at this point of the game, when I've come back and already have bombs and stuff, you know, I don't really need to check him. Oh yeah, we can check Training Chamber. We can't get the item unless we find Spider Ball here, but we can look at the item without locking the doors or anything. And we can get this item. Just a missile. Alright, hopefully Training Chamber is just a missile too. Yay, just a missile. Sweet. Alright, we're going to come back out. And we're going to go check, likely Zoid. We can also check the, what's that room called? Gathering Hall. You can check the Gathering Hall missile at the top of the room. And we can check Furnace after that, and we can check Crossway. Alright, perfect. That's exactly what we're doing. I'm predicting myself pretty well here, actually. Yeah, just a missile. Cool. Then we're gonna go check Zoid. Or Incinerator Drone. We named him Zoid because that's the nickname of the person who programmed this boss. Nice camera. One interesting thing to note, if you have power bombs or morph ball bombs, you can, it is faster to check this item, the item behind the block right there, during the fight rather than after the fight, like you would in a normal playthrough, since, you know, you get bombs later. So shoot the first cycle, and then go check it right away. So right here I shoot it, and then I go check it right now. Because he's gonna start popping up while we're coming back through, and we'll have enough time that he won't, like, we won't waste any time. So yeah. Like, the boss was resetting himself as we came back out. So it's perfect. Oh, oops, I was on the wrong side. Yeah, memorize Zoid always, his weak point always pops up on the same sides every time, so make sure you memorize where those are. Oh yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, you can just stand up here. It's pretty nice. You can just kind of sit here and not have to do anything. And this is a pretty bad Zoid. You can tell the music just looped. If he dies right when the music loops, it's average. Yeah, that was pretty bad. It was pretty bad luck. Alright. So 2 missiles, you know. Oh well. Unlucky. Excuse me. Yeah, this is an energy core puzzle. It's nothing really exciting. We all know how to do it. But yeah, at this point, my current plan is to check Furnace and, what's it called? Yeah, the Furnace items in Crossway. And after that, if we haven't found anything that we know, then we know progression is in Fendrana. So we need to go to Fendrana. Or it could be in Magmore. But yeah, it's not here. These are the last, like, 3 items we can check. Alright, we're going to check the rest of Furnace and Crossway. Technically, you need Spider Bomb in the logic to get these items, but it's very easy to skip Spider here, and I recommend that you learn how to do it. Yeah, so you can just walk up this track. If you just don't hold L and you hold a certain angle, or if you hold forward and looking a certain angle, you can just jump right up the track. It's very convenient. Let's see what's up here. And that's Ice Beam. That's very nice. Yeah, so you don't need to learn this trick. I know this trick. Why did I... Okay. Don't morph there. So yeah, you can do this puzzle without Spider Ball. And as long as you have space jump, basically, and morph ball and morph ball bombs, but you had those items anyway. So yeah, you kind of like line up right here, and you can morph ball bomb on right into that item. Oh, so close. But anyway, technically the seed should have given us Spider by now, so that means Spider is probably in Phendrana. So, but this was a huge backtrack that we cut out because I know how to do this trick. So, while I recommend learning all the tricks that you can if you want to become really good, if you're just starting out and you just want to learn some of the big tricks that save a lot of time and aren't very hard, don't feel pressured to learn this trick. This trick is pretty difficult, and yeah, this is very difficult and usually not. It usually won't happen with these settings because usually there's nothing up here in the first place, and secondly, these settings like to give you Spider Ball very early. But because we have Ice Beam, we can clear out the rest of Chozo in this area at least. And we can have a very convenient routing way to get back to Talon to go check Phendrana, because now we know that Spider Ball is there. Or at least we have a pretty good idea it's there. So yeah, we can check all the Elder's item, and we can check Ice Beam, and we can check the item above Frigate Crash Site, and have a really convenient way to come back to Talon to go back to Magmor. Yeah, use your X-ray visor, and you can stun lock ghosts if you shoot them in the middle of the dash like this. Obviously, it's hard to do it when they're inside of a wall, but yeah. Otherwise, if you don't know how to stun lock them, you're not good at it. 4 fully charged power shots will kill a ghost, or 1 super missile and 1 charged power shot. Oh, something I messed up here. You want to go get this. You want to activate this bomb slot while the ghost is like you know when they're floating in that like ring of white haze or whatever. You want to come activate the bomb slot while he's doing that, so that he comes out while you're activating the bomb slot and just saves a little bit of time. Yeah, we're just gonna check this item, go check Ice Beam, and technically we could go to Mines right now. It's not a very good idea, since we just don't have very many items. We can't check very much right now. Like, we can check Upper Mines, and that's about it. But yeah, I want to go to Phendrana first, because I know that Spider Ball is there. Yeah, now we need to activate the wave slot. And you can do an HBJ here. I usually choose not to do it because I haven't practiced it enough. If I practice it more, it's a little bit faster to do an HBJ because you don't watch these cutscenes. Because these cutscenes are very long. But you can do a bomb jump to skip the cutscenes. Oops. But yeah, so when you're routing this game, a big tip is just learn how the logic works, because that's very important. Knowing how like the logic, what it expects you to do, where it expects you to go, is really important for your routing, because right now we know we need to go to Phendrana because we know that Spider Ball is probably there because we already found Ice Beam. And Spider was technically required for it. And that Spider wasn't in Chozo, so it has to be somewhere else that we can access without the Ice Beam. So whenever you sequence break, it even gives you more information like that. Like, you know that if I found Boost Ball at Space Jump, when I did Space Jump first, now I know that Space Jump is going to be pretty early, and that it can't be in like a half pipe or something, because the game expects you to have Boost Ball to get that item, right? So now we know that Space Jump won't be in a location that requires Boost Ball. And what did I... Oh, I'm going back to check Life Grove. Yeah, this is a small mistake. I should have gone and checked Life Grove, because I can check. There's 4 items there that I can check, and it's just in the way, so why not do it? But I did waste about 40 seconds here watching these elevator cutscenes. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but you know what? Mistakes are learning opportunities, not bad things. But yes, we can check Great Tree Chamber, which is it usually has a missile and it's like right next to Life Grove. We can check Life Grove Tunnel, and there's 2 items in Life Grove we can check. I'm gonna take a quick drink of water, just a second. All right. Cool. All right. Commentating is thirsty work, friends. Yeah, it's faster even if we had Spider Ball. It's much faster just to jump on the spider track like that instead of going up the spider track the normal way. And Life Grove Tunnel is very annoying. So, just barely didn't make it. The collision in this room is not very well programmed. Oop, went right over. But you can do like a boost, and if you get most of the way up, you can boost at the top of your at the top of the morph ball, or you can boost like the top of where you would go. What am I thinking? The apex. That's the word I'm looking for. You can boost right before you hit the apex of your height, and you can keep going right up, and you can get that little bit of extra height you need. Yeah, unfortunately Life Grow was kind of a bust, but oh well. It was worth checking. Because, you know, stuff can be here. Not Spider Ball, but stuff can be here. You know, it's very easy for Plasma Beam to be here. Or Phazon Suit. And this guy is another guaranteed power bomb, so get your guaranteed power bombs. Remember that power bombs are very low drop chance in a lot of rooms, so make sure you know where the guaranteed ones are and make sure you take advantage of those. Because it's very rare that you get guaranteed power bombs. So I'm going to point out a lot of them as I go through the route, but make sure you know where a lot of them are. Because otherwise, RNGesus can just come and smite you down. And you definitely don't want that to happen in the middle of a tournament race. That'd be very unfortunate. Alright, so now we're going back to Fendrana. Alright, another great thing about having ice right now is that if we go to labs, we can go all the way through labs and not have to like backtrack out. Which, if you watched the community race, you saw me do that in the dark, and that was very, very spooky. That was not very fun, and I don't recommend doing that, so try to find ice beam. If it's convenient, a lot of times ice beam is in labs. So don't worry about it too much if you enter labs without ice beam. Often I'll enter Fendrana labs if there's not very many checks left and I haven't found ice beam, because it's pretty likely that ice beam will be there. And if it's not, well, then you have to backtrack out and just kind of have to bite the bullet. But just know that you made the correct choice checking the highest density location, because most of the time it will work out for you. But the few times that it doesn't work out for you, it will feel bad. But it's not your fault, because, you know, it's all luck. Randomizer is a lot of luck, and it's a lot of skill, and it's also a lot of luck. So just sometimes you just gotta accept that. Sometimes, you know, you were unlucky. The places that you checked, even though it was the correct place to check, strategically, it just didn't work out for you, and that can happen. But you know what? Don't take it to heart. Just accept that, you know, it's a computer. It's not trying to be nice to you. Scan that one, please. Thank you. So yeah, just it will happen. So don't get angry by it. Just accept that it happens, and just keep moving on. I've had plenty of seeds where I've completely full cleared mines, and there was like 3 items left in Chozo, and one of those 3 items was the progression item I needed, and nothing was in phase on mine. So there are silly things like that that happen all the time to all the best of us, and it'll happen to you a lot. And just don't take it to heart. Just keep on going. It will happen. Like I said, it's faster to bunny hop through this lava or L jump. Rather than go on that morph ball track, even with boost ball. So I believe at this point I'm going to go back and get the gravity suit that we found in Triclops. Excuse me, Triclops bit. And then I'll make my way to Fendrana. And we also have the, I think it's called Transport Tunnel Bay. Oh, looks like I'm getting that right. Hey look, I got the dash this time. Oh, I'm checking, I know what I'm checking. I'm checking the power bomb at the top of Warrior Shrine. It's a little inconvenient, but, you know, it can have an item, so you might as well check it. And vanilla. Oh well. And remember that we couldn't check this item the first time we came to Warrior Shrine because we didn't have morph ball bombs. Because we can't escape. And that'd be very unfortunate to soft lock right there. Alright, so now we're gonna go get our gravity suit. Owie. Shooting to the music. That's some swag points right there. Alright, if you don't know this dash, you can jump on some rocks over there. There's like a really tall rock that you can stand on, and you can jump up into that space to get the gravity suit. Alright, so now we're going to get this item. If you're not good at double bomb jumps, you need to get good at them because they're an intended game mechanic, and the logic will expect you to know how to do them. So I know that when I casually played through this game, double bomb jumps were kind of hard for me. But make sure you know how to do them because you are not a casual player. Alright, so we know that Spider Ball is going to be here. And we're also hoping for Plasma Beam, but you know, we can all get our hopes up. Who doesn't want a Plasma Beam, am I right? Alright, so what are we checking first? Oh, first we're going to go check over here to see what's required, because I didn't know at the time. I know now because I remember parts of the seed. Keep in mind, I did do this seed like 4 days after making this commentary for it, so I don't remember all of it, but I remember some of it. And I remember being very disappointed that Super Missiles and Spider Ball were required this seed. Alright, so now we're going to go look at the Sheegoth boss and see what's there. And always remember to make sure that whenever you check this boss, make sure that you have Wave Beam, because if you try to get this item and you don't have Wave Beam, you will be soft locked and you will have to reset. And what do we got? That's Plasma Beam? What is that? Sorry, I can't see now. Oh, that's Super Missiles. Hey, look at that. Yay, Super Missiles. Alright, so now we have the required item that I was butt aching about earlier. So yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, and you can kill her with power bombs. Because a lot of the early game bosses just die to power bombs because they don't expect you to have them. I do not need missiles. I do not need to farm for them. Alright, let's keep on going. Now you could do the infinite speed trick here with to get this item right here. I don't recommend doing that. Because usually it's just going to waste 50 seconds to get you a well-earned missile. So don't worry about doing infinite speed, because it's just a waste of time. The one time it works out for you might be really nice, but it's hardly ever going to work out for you. Oh yeah, you can jump on those guys, so it's worth checking what's under the ice right here, and it's an energy tank. Just to know if you need to come back with plasma later, you can get it. Oh, I forgot to press A. That is an energy tank, I think? Yeah, not worth it. Alright, so now at this point we're going to go check labs. And in labs, since we haven't found Spider Ball yet, it's probably going to be in labs. Oh, yeah, this is a very easy way to skip this puzzle. Don't ever do this puzzle again. And you can even L jump right here to this item without doing the puzzle again. So yeah, skipping that puzzle is very nice, because it doesn't waste 1,000,000 years. Yeah, now we're gonna go to labs. You can freeze that turret, you can freeze that guy, and you can jump right on through. It'd be faster to boost, but I just usually do that because it's a little more consistent. But yes, now the plan right now is to go through labs. We will probably find Spider Ball. If you don't find Spider Ball in here, that means that it's in whatever that is called, workstation, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, we're probably going to find it here. And then after that, we're going to full clear the rest of Phendrana as best as we can with the items we have. Obviously, we can't get some of the plasma beam required items. But yeah, we're going to clear Phendrana as much as we can. And then at that point, I think I would go to mines, depending on what I've found already. It all just depends. Yeah, the pirates are really mean. They like to shoot you off stuff. Remember, you can check this item. Oh, look, Spider Ball. You can check super missile tanks and stuff. X-ray. And it's very nice for if you don't have super missiles yet. It's very nice for checking stuff like that, so you know if you have to come back or not. Yeah, we're gonna get some drops to be safe. Thanks, game. I guess we didn't need help. Oh, I also recommend knowing how to do this dash, because this dash saves doing that whole puzzle. And we all know how super slow that puzzle is. Oh, and we're going to get that energy tank, because we're low on health. And I really don't want to save. I mean, who wants to save? Alright. Next thing to talk about is in Control Tower. There's like that pirate fight or whatever that locks the doors. You can skip that. So what the pirate fight is it's a big trigger in front of the door, and you can hop up against the top of the door like this until you come out and like inch forward. And then you need to come all the way up here, and then you can jump over it. So that's how you skip it. And you can skip it both ways. Remember that's like just in front of the door, so if you jump up the side, because like that door is inside of, it's like on the edge of like a cube or whatever. However the hallway leads in the door, it's really weird. If you look at that door, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you can jump up like the side of that, and you can skip the boss coming the other way too by again jumping and inching forward until you get right next to the door. Yeah, now we're gonna make our way to the research lab with 2 items and research core, which is where thermal usually is. Oh, this game has Metroids, by the way. Just in case you didn't know. Yeah, kill this Metroid, wait for Edward to jump through the glass, and then come get your items. So we got a missile and energy tank. This is pretty vanilla. We're gonna get that energy tank because it's convenient, and you can never have enough energy tanks. Energy tanks are always nice to have. And a reminder that you can look at this item with the cutscene. I usually watch this first cutscene to see what it is, and then based on what it is, I will either keep scanning if I need that item, or I just will leave if I don't want that item. Alright, so now we're going to go check Vendrana's Edge and like gravity chamber and such. Oops. There's a few items along here we can get. There's one in... This isn't Hunter Cave, but I think it's called Frost Cave. I dash all the way over here, and then I shoot the stalactite down and use the cutscene to look at the item. And if I don't want it, I just leave. And if I do want it, I jump down and get it. And an energy tank. I don't really want to waste my time on that. I have enough energy tanks. Yeah, kill that Hunter Metroid. He's very rude. So we're going to Vendrana's Edge right now, and while we can't check Storage Cave, we can check Security Cave. So we're going to go check that. I think it's called Security Cave or Security Cavern or something like that. Yeah, flying pirates are really good. They like to juke all your ice shots. Oh yeah, that jump is kind of difficult. I'd recommend learning the other strat to get into that tree trunk or whatever thing it is. Alright, so the items on the top of our priority list are Plasma Beam and Phazon Suit, because they're the only items we need to beat the game now. Once we have Phazon Suit and Plasma Beam, we're done. And we can go collect the artifacts and go fight Metroid Prime. So yeah, we got 2 items in here to check. Alright, missile and missile. Alright, we don't need those. Goodbye, gravity chamber. But yeah, so we're in a full clear Vendrana right now, and then we're probably going to go check mines, because when we come out, we're going to make a little detour through Magmore first, but because we're going to come out, because I'm routing this so that I check all of Far Vendrana, and then I'll wrap back around to early Vendrana and get the artifact and come out near Magmore. And then I'll make my way to the to the Phazon Mines elevator from there. And I'll also check Workstation. And then I'll go clear out Phazon Mines as best as I can, trying to find Plasma Beam. So I'm pretty sure we've cleared out everything that we can in Choza Ruins. So the only other options we would have after that would be, I think, Crashed Frigate. Pretty sure that's right. It's just Sunken Frigate. Yeah, that sounds right. Alright, so now we're going to go check Thardus. Unfortunately, we need to fight the big rock monster. He's a jerk. Yeah, make sure you get this item first, because it could be, something you need to fight. Like that, like Plasma Beam. Alright then, sweet. Now we just need Phazon Suit. So that doesn't really change anything about our routing, but it will change what we can check. Oh yeah, for the Thardus fight, one fully charged Plasma Shot, this will kill his rock. And I'm not sure why I'm not power bombing him. But one thing to know, if you don't have Thermovisor and you don't have memorized where the rocks are, if you lay Morphball bombs like that, the blue part of the rock is going to be out, so like his rock's going to be exposed. So it's a good trick to know, and it'll be exposed immediately no matter what. So if you don't have Thermovisor, that's a really good trick for fighting him. And it'll even work with like the center rock that has a lot of health. I'll even show you a power bomb trick for the center rock. What I should have done is I should have rolled up to his feet right at the beginning of the battle and laid a power bomb, and that would have blown up the first two rocks. And then the other rock that you can power bomb is his chest rock, which I'll show you how to do at the end of the fight. Yeah, now I guess I'm just teasing him. But yeah, if you can, you want to try to get on the correct side of Thardus to like shoot his weak spot while he's rolling around. Yeah, he's really rude. He likes to block all of his weak points with other rocks, especially a small rock like that. He's another pulled up scan right here. This time on the correct side of this time. So there we go. That's what it's going to look like when you shoot him while he's rolling. He's going to immediately like come out of his roll and he's going to like freak out. Thardus freaks out. But the manually aiming shots are kind of tricky to get, so they do take a little bit to get used to. Like even I'm not very good at them, and I've played the game for a while. All right, so here's the power bomb strat. So while he's throwing his final tantrum, you want to come up to his feet while he's charging his like snowstorm or whatever. And once you see lightning bolts appear, you want to lay a power bomb right at his feet. And what'll happen is that it'll immediately kill his chest rock, and the fight will be over, and you can collect your hard-earned missile. But yeah, he's always a missile, so if you ever thought Thardus was going to be something else, you're wrong. Not sure, I'm missing an item. Maybe I just decided not to go get it. Oh, now I'm deciding to go get it. Alright, yeah, we're going back for the Artifact of Spirit item in Phendrana's Edge, because we couldn't check that before. And, yeah. It has an equal chance of being the Phazon suit as anything else in the game, so... yeah, we're gonna go get it. Alright, and then at this point we would clear out the rest of Phendron. which is just early game now, by the way. And then we would make our way to Phazon Mines through Magmore, after checking plasma processing and the workstation. And all we need now is Phazon Suit. Once we get Phazon Suit, we win. We just need to collect artifacts and we're done. Yeah, these guys are way easier with Plasma Beam because the Plasma shots fire way faster. Alright, energy tank. Never unhappy to see an energy tank, I guess we'll say. Alright, so now we're just making our way back to early game Phendrana, which has a lot of Plasma Beam locations, so it's definitely worth checking. Ooh, almost didn't make that dash. Oopsie. Yeah, man, vertical rooms. Vertical rooms are the real deal in this game, man. They, you mess them up once and you lose a minute. It sucks. You can dash off grapple points like that. It's very, very fun. It's not as good as scan dashing, but still. Just wanted to show it off. It's a fun time. I guess I decided that I wanted this energy tank. But yeah, I'm using a route for the cleanup, which is, I just know it from 100% for being fast. Yeah, you just kind of come this way and you kind of just come down Phendrana and you'll end up back in Phendrana shorelines where we can get our artifact. So we get these two items. We know that the other shorelines item is, I think it was just a missile. So we're not going to get that, and we're going to get the artifact, and then we're going to check Artifact of Sun, and then we're going to make our way to Mines. Assuming that none of these are Phazon Suit. If one of them's Phazon Suit, we're just going to book it. Well, we're still going to book it to Mines, actually. Because the last artifact is there. Oh yeah, and you can overlap these cutscenes if you morph right after you shoot the ice right there. So you can overlap those cutscenes, and instead of watching two cutscenes, you watch one cutscene. Hey, look at that, we're in go mode. All right, that's what I like to see. It is go mode time, my friends. So we're just gonna go into mines, get our artifact, and leave. I think I'm just checking to make sure that that actually is the 5th artifact. Elite control access. Yep. Okay. Cool. Nice boosts. This ground really loves to eat your boosts, so you just gotta know where the ground doesn't eat your boosts. Oh yeah, that platform really does eat through dashes too. And the turrets like to send you flying. But never flying towards the door, I've noticed. Kind of rude with that. Good old turrets. Oh, oops, I messed up a little bit right there. Messed up that last dash. Oh yeah, like I said, it's faster to run through or jump through that lava, but it's even faster to boost through that lava. That R jump is really hard. I don't recommend that you learn it unless you like speedrun this game, basically. Otherwise, just take the spider track, or there's some other easier ways to skip that. Yeah, we don't need to check this room, so we're just going to bypass it. Once you're in go mode, nothing else matters except getting your last artifact. Didn't quite dash off the thing. Oh, and always make sure you have a power bomb before you come in here. Like I said, power bomb management is really important in Randomizer, so knowing where all the guaranteed drops are is very important, and knowing where all the high chance drops are is pretty important too. That zoomer right there is a guaranteed power bomb drop, so make sure you get in. But yeah, that's another thing I kind of haven't touched on yet. Power bomb management is extremely important in Randomizer, and you need to learn how to do that. And that's most of that is like, you know, using your power bombs where you need to, because obviously you have to. But knowing where the guaranteed drops are is really important, because you don't want to be stuck in a spot where you have to farm for them. And knowing good spots to farm for them is also really good. Like Phazon Processing Center back there, those boxes have a really good chance of dropping a power bomb. Now you can skip this pirate, but you can't skip it coming back. So it's faster just to fight him now, because we're going into the next room and then we're coming back through this room to exit. Yeah, and there's an exploitable part of that AI. And this is true of Elite Pirates, the Phazon Elite, and Omega Pirate himself, just all those big pirates, really. Before they start attacking you, for whatever reason, they want to like look at you and have you in the center of their vision or whatever. So you can exploit that. You can like walk barely to the side of them, and they won't. They like keep turning to try to look at you, and they'll never attack you. And you can just spam missiles at them. Yeah, it's very nice to learn that. Here's another trick that's kind of tricky, but I recommend you learn it, because it's actually not that bad once you get used to it. So this is called PPC climb. There's a turret up there that you can kill, but you don't need to. So yeah, right there, double jump, single jump, double jump, single jump, double jump, and then you're out. Oh. Wonderful. That guy's kind of rude. And, oh, oops. Alright, well, at least we didn't land at the very bottom of the room. But yeah, so you want to jump right into that spot right there. It's kind of a precise jump, but now you want to go double jump, single jump, double jump, single jump, double jump, single jump, double jump, and then you're out. So yeah, it's not that bad. It takes a little bit to learn, but it's not awful. I recommend you learn it because it's way faster than using the spider ball to get out of the room. Yeah, now we're going to make our way to the Talon elevator, and then we're going to go to the ship save from there. And fight the final bosses. Whee! There's a lot of very cool looking dashes in this game. Movement's very interesting. But yeah, we are almost done. Hype. We are currently at 1 hour and 15 minutes on the real time, it looks like right now. So this was a pretty decent seed, actually. This is pretty quick. Mostly because we found Phazon Soup pretty quickly. Also, always take this ship save right before you fight final bosses. You need all the missiles you can get for Ridley, so save them up. Aw, rip ship dash, man. Am I going? Oh, why do I do things like this? Please save me. Don't do this. Yeah. Man, I'm dumb. I really wanted to get ship dash, I guess. Yeah, if you fail a trick, unless the only backup for the trick is going and doing it again, don't go do it again. Yeah, don't do it again. Just, yeah. Get over your mistake and do the backup strat. Don't be an idiot like me. Alright, just in case you didn't know, there's an exploit with Ridley where if you boost into his chest, it immediately gets him down to 1/4 health, which is his ground phase. So as soon as Ridley lands, boost into his chest. Swag. I boosted a little bit too late. You can get him as he comes by sometimes if the soup's low enough in. So yeah, when he jumps down, back up, more, and boost right into his chest. this point you want to switch to power. So the strat here is he's going to open his mouth to do something at you, and then you want to spam missiles into his chest. And you just want to do the same on phase 2. I actually set up a trick right here to 2-cycle him instead of 3-cycle, but don't worry too much about getting it. It's actually really hard, and the missiles are really tight. But otherwise, that was a really good relief fight for me. It was very, very tight. But yeah, now it's time for Metroid Prime. So I'll have a few tips to go over for the fight. And these are like some speed tech things. So these are things that you can take from here and apply to a speedrun if you wanted to speedrun this game too. So yeah. So Metroid Prime has 4 sub-chambers, and those like his 4 phases or whatever. Sub-chamber 1... Oh, sorry, we should probably talk about this room. You can do a ghetto jump and skip half this room. Just go up there, it's really simple. And then you can do this fast, the final platforming. Yeah. So anyway, back to Metroid Prime. He has 4 sub-chambers, and the beams that he uses, because he's weak to, he's weak to certain beams or whatever at different times. So the beams that he's weak to is the same every time for sub-chamber 1, 2, and 3. Sub-chamber 1, he is always going to be power and wave in any order. So it's going to be random what order he chooses, but it's always going to be those 2 things. So like this time he chose power first. He can choose to do wave first. Sub-chamber 2 is the one after this, obviously. And he's going to do power, wave, and ice in some order. And it's worth mentioning that you should probably only use the power and ice beam combos in this fight, because they're the only ones that are really worth the missiles. If you have a lot of missiles, use Wave Buster, but otherwise you want to save your missiles for power and ice. So yeah, this is sub-chamber 2. It's going to be power, wave, ice in some order. It's going to be random order, obviously. It's like he chose ice. When you use ice spreader on him, it's going to immediately end the phase. And right when you have sub-chamber 2, now this is true for all future sub-chambers. So you can actually hit him as he turns around. So watch here. As he turns around, I'm going to release the beam combo, and it's going to do it. And it actually damaged his next phase. So it actually ended his power phase immediately. We're going to do the same thing now with the super missiles. Right as he turns around, so we're going to hit him right in the face. And now, whenever you use super missile, you just need 1 charged beam shot, and he's done. Just like that. So now it's sub-chamber 3. It's going to be power, wave, ice, plasma in any order. Alright, so power first, so just charge up your super missile, and then shoot a charged shot into his face, and get ready for the turnaround snake. So get in position. Ooh. Yeah, no, he's kind of rude sometimes. If that happens, just get the turnaround shot. All good. And if you get 1 charged shot in, just try to get 2 charged ice shots into his face. Oh, and you will notice that he keeps doing the melee attack over and over again. This is because I'm sitting right in front of Metroid Prime. And whenever you're sitting right in front of him, he overrides all attacks that he would have done with the melee attack. And you can jump right over it and just sit there. And for wave and plasma, you want to shoot up into his face as he moves by, and shoot him with a charge shot as he turns around. That's really important because it damages his next phase. Because you see how fast that one ended. Because I ended up hitting him with charge shots of wave beam, and those carry into the next phase, just like the beam combos I was doing does. Alright, this is sub-chamber 4. Metroid Prime can choose any beam he wants to at any time, and he can change. He can repeat beams. He can do whatever he wants. He can change beams in the middle of phases if he wants. It's pretty chaotic, and he just does whatever he wants. It's kind of rude. Yeah, so just get your ice spreader shots in. So now just pay attention to what he switches to. I think that was plasma. And make sure you start getting his snipes as he charges and turns around, because you'll be ending phases really quickly. Alright, so power. So since we had 2 plasma shots, we only need 1. I don't know why I used the super missile though. I didn't need to. I just needed 1 charge shot. Anyway. Make sure you hit him with the beam combo as it turns around. And then all we need now is just 1 charged ice shot. It's done. And that was excellent. And on to Essence. So the second phase of the Metroid Prime fight is a little more difficult, in my opinion, just to get right every time. So what you're going to notice here is when we come down, we're going to skip the cutscene, because we don't want to watch it. And we're going to sit here and do nothing. We're not going to move at all. So we're going to let Metroid Prime move. He's always going to move away from stuff. So what you want to do here is you just want to sit here and watch until he lays the pool. And then now he's laying the pool. You'll know because he roars. And then you want to be on the side of the pool that is farthest from like that black corpse you can see over there. That's his exoskeleton. You want to be as far away from that as possible. Because whenever Essence is right next to the corpse, if he's going to lay a pool, he will skip that pool instead and just change by it. Waste a lot of time. So now you see I'm shooting in a rhythm. You need to be able to memorize this rhythm. Because what I'm doing is I'm canceling all of its attacks. And you see how quickly he laid a pool. That's because Metroid Prime has a set number of attacks he does before he lays the next pool. And by shooting in rhythm, we're skipping all of those attacks, because the only thing we can't skip is him laying a pool. So we're just going to shoot in rhythm and skip all of his attacks. And then we'll immediately go on to the next phase. Alright, yeah, and you want to powerbomb these Metroids to get them out of the way. Alright, so now what we're doing, this is the third pool. We have enough pool stuff to kill him now. So we're going to move in and out of the pool over and over again. And this doesn't expend the pool at all. So that's why we're doing it. This is not very good. So as you see, I'm stepping in and out of the pool, and that's just not using the pool at all. And yeah, we got it done. And that was a time of 1:26.18. So very good, a very average seed for me. Pretty decent. Yeah, that's Metroid Prime Randomizer. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll do a few quick notes. So in the description of this video, I will leave my personal Discord username, and I will leave a Discord invite link to the Metroid Prime Randomizer server if you are not already a part of this server. Because if you are interested in playing Metroid Prime Randomizer, you'll want to join that, and you want to ask your questions there. There are hundreds of people in that community that are willing to help you, more than willing to just give up some of their time to help you learn. And if not right away, then they will at some point. And, if you have any questions, you can DM me as well. I don't really mind helping you either. I'm more than happy to help and spread my knowledge. I know in a lot of things that they're the top. I know in a lot of communities, the top tier players of the community want to like keep secrets to themselves so that they remain the top tier. That's not the case here. Me and Bash and a lot of the other good runners want to share our strategies and share our secrets out to help everybody, because we want everybody to be competitive. We want the community to be a good community. Which is, why I'm making this video and why I'm commentating it, and why I'm willing to help you get better at Randomizer. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help, anything like that. And with that, good luck in the tournament. And I hope this helped you a lot, and I hope you enjoyed. So yeah.